Good. Yes. Hi. Hello. How are you? Good. It's good to see you. Hi, Jared. Good to see you. We'll start in a few minutes, everyone. There's a full house today. There's lots of room for everyone to practice, but my just suggestion is if you see space next to you on the right or left or front and back, so we can have 5 rows for people to make their way in. That would just be helpful as people are making their way through the ice. And then we'll use all of the props available. So 2 blocks, a blanket, there's straps and therapy balls, and I can also bring stuff over to you as we start to get moving around, and you'll hear me say this again as we're waiting on everyone else. Hello, nice to see you. I know, it's good to see you. Happy New Year. Glad you could come. Hi, how are you? Stiff, yes. I know, the cold will do that. Yep. Well, I feel like walking in this weather, everything is clenched when it shouldn't be. So, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. good to see you. Hi, good to see you. Hi, y'all. Hi, how are you? You guys okay? Can I ask you guys a quick favor? If you want to pull up just a few inches so there can be a row behind you so that everyone has a little room, that would be great. And then if you guys could come in just a little closer to each other, I think another mat could fit just somewhere in between because a few more people are going to make their way in. I promise we're not leaving the mat and no heads or feet will come in contact, but just a little space and that'll be great. Thank you. Hi. Oh, she's coming. Oh. I will. Hi, nice to see you. Hello. All right. Three, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hi, y'all. Welcome. Come on in. Yeah, there's space over here. There's a few spots here. Lots of room in the front. And we'll start in another moment. Hi, Fran. We'll use all of the props this afternoon, so take your time as you get comfortable and situated. There's some blocks over here. The taller you are, the more easy they are to access. They just get higher and higher. But we'll use 2 blocks. I hear myself on here. 2 blocks, a strap, and some therapy balls that are in these white baskets. And we'll be doing a bunch of stuff with the knees down today. So if you'd like some extra padding with a blanket, there's some stacks over here. And also the orienting to the room, there's a box of tissues here because nothing quite like leaving and walking for all the sinuses to take action. Hi, Molly. You want to go right there? Or up here, anywhere you like. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, welcome y'all. In theory, there's plenty of room for, not in theory, in reality, there's plenty of room for everyone to fit. In theory, there's 6 more folks who are signed up who might make their way in as we start to practice. So just like before you get too comfortable, my suggestion is if you can and there's some space next to you to scooch a couple of inches to the right or left. I promise you won't leave your mat territory. No one's going to have hand and foot, but just so that everyone has a little bit of room as they find their way in. That would be very helpful. And then we'll use all the props. Hi, come on in. There's some spots over here. There's a spot up front. And then there's some spots that are being made. I see some in the back row, in this middle row over here. And feel free to take your time. We all had the right idea. Monday yoga class. And it's a great place to be. Yes. We'll use all the things, 2 blocks, blanket, balls, strap, and anything else you can find. If you want a bolster, you can grab a bolster. I never have an agenda with one, but you're more than welcome to grab one to lie down on. And we'll start in a moment. Is it warm enough for those that just came in? We're getting a little more comfortable? Okay. I'll turn the fans on a little later as we get a little toastier. No, you're great, yeah. We only just like to leave, and I think it was a couple weeks ago where it was, New Year's Eve class, where everyone had the same idea. And usually we leave this strip just so that there's no butt in the camera, but I was like, just come here, it's fine, you don't see anything, I'll tilt the camera up. All right, everyone, welcome. It's really nice to be with you all. Thanks for making your way through ice and snow and winter to be here together. Um, I have the little tracker list of everyone who signs up, and every time that you're new to the studio or new to class, you get a very cute little blue star, like grade school, next to your name, and there's 4 blue stars today. So if I didn't get a chance to officially come say hi to you, my name is Anisha, and if it's been a while, my name is Anisha still, but I'm happy to be here in class. Hi, Lindsay. We'll start in a few moments, but just to orient those that are new, there's props up here, there's tissues, there's blankets, blocks. Feel free to sip water. There's filtered water from the sink downstairs, and then also bottles in the fridge right behind the desk. Bathrooms, everything else that you need is downstairs, and feel free through any point of class to take breaks, to pause, to really pace yourself and move in ways that support you. So for those of us that were together last week and for a couple of weeks in January, I mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again. And the way that I like to teach class is that usually every month, for the entire month, we focus on one pose or a philosophical concept or a mythological story and kind of see where it begins to take us as the month progresses. And so every year for the past couple of years now, I've been teaching this one pose in different orientations to gravity in January because the story and the tales behind the pose offer a little bit more insight as we move towards the rest of the calendar year. The pose that we're working on all month long is called Hanumanasana in Sanskrit, and in English, one of the translations is moving towards full splits. So that's what we're doing today. Whether you knew that was happening, welcome. Whether you didn't know, I take nothing personally. So it took me years to take nothing personally. So feel free to make the faces, do anything that you need to, and there'll be lots of variations to try out. Hi, y'all, come on in. I see a space right over here. And then do you guys mind just coming a few inches closer together and we can put one more in right here? Just leaving a little space for the camera. That'd be so great. Thank you, everyone. So Hanumanasana in English translates to full splits. But in fact, in Sanskrit, the pose is named after one of the great lords in the yogic tradition called Lord Hanuman. And he is the god who has the face of a monkey, the body of a human man, and a long tail that helps him kind of navigate in the poses that he's moving towards. And last week I told you the story about how when he was a little kid, he was a little mischievous. He got into a lot of trouble that he went and jumped into the heavens and took a bite of what he thought was a really ripe, juicy mango in the sky, and it happened to be the Lord of the Sun. And Surya, the Lord of the Sun, said, you know what, there's no way that we can let this tomfoolery persist. I got to make sure that he forgets that he has these magical powers. So Surya was thought to take one of his own rays of the sun and strike Hanuman to kind of temporarily help him forget that he could do these full splits. And now, I left you on a cliffhanger last week, but this week, Hanuman is all grown up. And he enters this forest, he encounters a great prince and princess who've been banished. Also, big asterisk, I'm telling you, 100,000-page story in 2 minutes or less. So this is by no means how the actual written text goes, but I'm trying to keep it under 3 minutes. So Hanuman, long story short, comes into the forest and he encounters these 2 great prince and princess, Ram and Sita. And they get into a lot of trouble. And Ram's brother Lakshman ends up getting poisoned, and no one knows how to fix it. No one knows where the antidote is, and everyone is distraught. And Hanuman says, you know what, there's something inside of me that knows, I don't know where the antidote is, I don't really know what I'm about to do, but there's something that's calling inside of me that's gonna let me try and save the day. And so the story goes is that he has one foot in the forest of Ayodhya, in the forest that he's been banished to, and he takes one huge flying split into the sky and lands at the foothills of the Himalayas. And he's looking around, he's trying to seek this plant that's the antidote, and he's like, you know what, sun's going down, I can't find it at all. Let me just take the whole mountain. And so he takes the entire mountain in one hand, does another full split with a literal mountain in his hand, lands back in the forest. The sages find the antidote, cure the brother, yay. And then he can't leave the mountain where it is. He has to go fly back in a split with the mountain, return it, and then fly back. So that's 4 splits. That's what we're going to do today. Leap, 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 leap. But, I always say, when I offer these mythological stories, like, why am I telling you this? It's Monday, it's January 2026, it's ice cold outside, and we're not leaping with mountains in our hands. But each one of the mythological stories, they give a little bit of perspective, a little offering to see our own insights. Because one of my teachers, Rupa, said, these gods weren't created out of thin air. We, the humans, created them. They are a product of us, and not a way that we have to sacrifice or diminish parts of ourselves in order to get their approval, but they become a little lens and a mirror to see aspects of ourselves that sometimes get forgotten. So I have a lot more to say about it as we start to practice, but the qualities of this great flying monkey, they live within each and every one of us. The ability to be devoted to something so much greater than yourself is a part of our own being. And as we move from split to split, we'll see where it begins to take us. But take breaks, sip lots of water, modify, rest, spectate, and give yourself the time to pace yourself, because we got mountains to move to see where it starts to shift. So together we'll begin in a comfortable seat, however that looks for you. You can definitely start fully lying down on the ground if you'd like. You might be seated with your legs crossed underneath you. You might be seated on your knees, but if you are in a seat, maybe you notice what it feels like to sit up on any gentle propping on the edge of your blanket or up on your block, so that your hips naturally fall a little higher than your knees, and the lowest part of your back can lift and lengthen to just stack that deck in your own favor. And as your hands fall anywhere they fall, into your lap or onto the tops of your thighs, let your eyes soften or close so you can listen for your own breath. When we close our eyes, you turn in towards that darkness, that expansive, generative, cooling darkness that coats your eyelids. And it's here, through the dark, you might be able to see your own reflection radiating itself back to you. The you that you were, the you that you are, and the you that you continue to become, they all exist in this form. So with your eyes soft and your attention turned inward, can you listen for that thread of your own breath, that breath that connects every aspect of yourself together? Your next breath might move from your nose down into your belly and up into your heart. And as you exhale, offer the breath up and out through the very crown of your head. Let your head sit above your heart, and let your heart rest above your hips. Take a few more breaths just on your own, letting each breath move in and down so it fills you up completely. And as you exhale, feel the outer body soften. Let the shoulders, the jaw, and the fingertips soften. We'll start our practice and our time together with 3 more rounds of that breath. So as you're ready, gather your hands to center anywhere that feels for you, somewhere on your body or in front of your heart. But as you wait for your next inhale, let it fill you up completely. And exhale to offer all of that breath out. 2 more times, just on your own. At the bottom of your breath, pause for a moment. Take notice of that difference that comes when you listen for and really remember your own breath. And as you keep a thread of that connection inwards, let your hands slowly release. blink your eyes open, and come forward to tabletop this morning to start to link your breath and movement together. You might have your blocks framing out the top corners of your mat. Perhaps you use them as we start to move around. If you'd like a blanket underneath your knees for a little extra cushion, feel free to find it. But in your table, bring those hands as wide as your mat. I know some of our mats are a little wider than others. Just see what it feels like to take up some room. Spread your fingers, and with your knees under your hips, start to curl all of your toes under to feel the arches of your feet. If you haven't started already, begin to round and arch your spine, really linking your breath and movement together through some rounds of cat and cow. Let's take 5 cycles of breath just here on your own. Taking this time to see what it feels like to not only move your body on its own, but how your breath can enhance and inform your movement. It's like you take the winter jacket off, the underlayer off, you move the body, and then the breath starts to find its way through. So as you find these next few rounds, you might stay rounded or arched for a few extra cycles. You might move more back and forth, your hips to your heels or shoulders forward of the wrists. But take one more long inhale in through the nose, and even open your mouth to offer every ounce of that breath out. As you find your way back to table, come to your neutral spine and just watch for any props or neighbors behind you. As you take a calf stretch, reach your right leg back, curl the right toes under, and reach through your right heel to notice what you feel in the back of your right leg. Maybe it's stillness, what you desire this afternoon. Maybe it's moving your heel back and forth to notice any different sensation. But as the heel goes back, can you slide your heart forward? Let the back and the sides of your neck grow longer in every direction. And after a few breaths on this first side, take your time to switch. Bend your right, reach back through the left heel or the other leg. Notice these corners in your body and being as you take a full breath in and down. Stay for your exhale. Think heel to the back of the room as you slide the very crown of your head forward to grow longer in each direction. After a few breaths, take your time, come back to table. Walk your hands a handprint forward of your shoulders. Let them stay as wide as your mat. Bring your knees a few inches behind your hips. And with your toes curled under, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Take as much time and all of the breaths to find your way there. Here in your down dog, again, it might be stillness that your body craves this afternoon. You might pedal your heels one at a time or bend and straighten your knees simultaneously. But take a longer breath in through the nose and a deeper breath out through your nose or mouth in every direction. At the bottom of your exhale, lift your heels, soften your knees, take a peek forward, and 1 foot at a time, start to walk your feet up towards your hands to come into your forward fold. You can use all the resources available to you. You might bring your hands up onto blocks at any height in front of your feet so the floor can rise to meet you where you are. You might widen your feet an inch or two or let your knees soften to give your low back and your hips a little extra space. But let the weight of your head be heavy as you bow in towards yourself, taking a deeper breath in and a longer breath out, feeling your heart soften towards the earth. And now after a few breaths, climb your hands up onto your hips, stand through your legs, and a big inhale to come all the way up to rise as your hands come down by your sides. Let your feet be right underneath your hips with your toes pointing ahead. Take a big breath in to reach your arms forward and up. And as you exhale, soften your knees to fold over your legs. On an inhale, come up halfway to lengthen, hands to your blocks or shins as you reach your heart forward. And on your exhale, fold, plant your palms, and step it back to plank pose, the top of your push-up. You might lift your knees, you might tap your knees to the ground behind your hips, but take a few breaths here. As you press through your palms, feel your shoulder blades broaden on your upper back. And now slide your ears back so your head comes in line with your heart. A big breath in. And as you exhale, begin to bend your elbows and lower all the way down onto your belly. Let your hands be as wide as your mat. Take up some room. Inhale to rise for cobra or baby cobra as you lift up through the chest. And on your exhale, take it up and back to downward facing dog. tabletop, or puppy pose for 3 slow, steady breaths on your own. Let each breath move from the nose into your belly. And as you exhale, press your palms down and forward to lift your hips up and back if you're in downward facing dog. Take a deeper, fuller breath in every direction and a longer breath out through every fiber of your being. At the bottom of your next breath, lift both heels, soften your knees, peek forward, and come forward, feet to your hands into your standing forward fold. As you breathe in, come up halfway, let the balls of your feet be as heavy as your heels, and on your exhale, fold, bowing in towards yourself. Use your own fists to measure those feet about 2 fists width apart. And with your toes pointing straight ahead, start to bend your knees, sit your hips back, and slide your palms up to your thighs for this round of chair pose. As your butt gets heavy to the back of your mat, see that the knees, you want to guide them open towards the second and third toes. And now press into your legs to lift your heart away from the earth. Stay here for some more support in your low back. You might reach your arms up overhead to add some heat in the upper body, but remember your breath. Take a full breath in and down. Stay for your exhale, think butt heavy to the back of the room as you lift your heart and your gaze away from the floor. Now on an inhale, come all the way up to rise, reach up to touch the sky. And as you exhale, fold, bowing in towards yourself. Keep your right foot forward, step your left foot all the way back to catch your lunge, and bring those hands high up onto blocks or fingertips on either side of your right foot. Wiggle your left toes back just another inch so you get longer in your stance. Now stay in your lunge. As you take a breath, can you lift your heart, feel your spine grow long? And as you exhale, begin to fold and straighten that right leg, coming higher up onto blocks as needed. Let's do that 2 more times. Big inhale through to lunge, lift up through the heart. And as you exhale, fold and straighten your right leg. 1 more time, take a big breath from belly to chest. And on your exhale, start to fold and straighten your right leg. Now, once both of those legs are straight, pause here. Lift your left heel, drop higher away from the ground. Try to push your left foot into the floor to wrap your left hip forward and tack your right hip to the back of your mat. Now, as you keep your legs straight, take a breath, press into your blocks to lift your chest, come up halfway. And as you keep your left hand connected, bring your right hand to your right hip. Wrap your right hip back, shrug your right shoulder up and back, and from your belly, start to twist open to the right for this version of revolved triangle. Stay right here. You might reach your right fingertips to the ceiling, but take a full breath in and down. Stay for the exhale, think right hip back, right shoulder up and back, and then lean back against yourself. On an inhale, unwind, lower your right hand, bend your right knee, and take all the hops you need for your left foot to meet your right. Inhale to lengthen halfway, grow long through the spine. And as you exhale, fold in towards yourself. That second side with your left foot forward, step your right foot back to catch your lunge. And as you squeegee your right toes back an inch, the higher up your hands are on fingertips or blocks, the more space your right, left hip and belly can start to get. Now with your breath, take an inhale to lift your heart. And as you exhale, begin to fold and straighten your front leg. Twice more, follow your breath more than my voice. Big breath in through to lunge, and a slow, steady exhale to fold and bow in. 1 more, wait for your breath. Come through to your lunge. And as you exhale, fold and let your left leg straighten. Now pause for a few breaths. Sometimes with the left foot forward, the hips want to spin open to the right. So when you lift your right heel higher away from the ground, it helps your hips move. That right hip can tack forward. The left hip can wrap back to create more sensation in those left hamstrings. Now keeping the hips steady, press into your blocks to lift your chest, come up halfway. And as your right hand stays connected, let your left hand come to your left hip. Use your hand to wrap your left butt cheek back, and now shrug your left shoulder up and back, and from your belly, start to twist open to the left. Breathe here. You might reach the left arm up to the sky, but take a full breath in and down. Stay for the exhale. Think left hip back. Press the left big toe side edge of your foot down into the ground as you lean back against yourself. On your next breath in, unwind. Bend your left knee, plant your palms onto your sticky mat, and step it back to downward facing dog. Pedal your heels. Take notice of what it is that you feel and see. And now with those hands as wide as your mat, take up some room. Inhale brings you through to plank pose. Exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Take the entire breath to rise, Cobra Bhujangasana. And on your exhale, take it up and back to downward facing dog. A full breath in through the nose and a longer breath out through your nose or mouth. From your down dog, inhale to lift the right leg up and back. Step your right foot through or around to catch your lunge. Spin your back heel to the floor, and on your inhale, rise for warrior two, facing the long edge of your mat. That's it. Let the right toes and the right knee point straight ahead. And instead of leaning more forward towards that right leg, reach back through your left fingers. Let your left leg get heavy. And as you reach back through the left fingertips, can you bend into your right knee and thigh? Now a full breath in and down. Stay for the exhale. Reach out through the fingertips. Try to look away from the floor as you bend into your front thigh. Now the legs stay the same. As you breathe in, just reach both arms to the ceiling. Bend your right elbow, give yourself a pat on the back, and let your left fingertips grab onto your elbow. Now think elbow high to the sky as you gently press your head back to lift your chin. Slide the ribs back to support the middle of your back as you press your head back. Take a big breath in and down. Stay for the exhale. Bend 1 more inch into your right thigh. Guide the knee open as you lift the right elbow to the ceiling. Now inhale to release your arms to a T. Press your right leg straight. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, bring your right hand to a block or the floor on the inside or outside of that front leg for triangle pose. Your left arm might reach to the sky. You might keep it on your hip. But as you feel both legs on the ground, without moving them, can you hug your feet towards one another from front to back? Feel the inner thighs ignite. Now as you press down into your right hand, reach your left fingertips 3 more inches to the ceiling. Try to touch the skylights and lean back against yourself. A bigger breath in and a longer breath out. And on your next inhale, look to the earth. Bring your hands to the ground and step it back to downward facing dog. Now in your down dog, do bring your hands as wide as your mat. Lift that same right leg up and back, the one that was just ahead in your triangle. Now try to spin your right hip and toes to face the floor. Straighten your right leg and flex the foot. And as you lift your right inner thigh 1 more inch, take a big breath in. Stay for the exhale. Lift the right leg 1 more inch towards the sky. Stay right here, or if you want to add a little more spice, look between your hands. Maybe inhale to one-legged plank pose. Hug the right leg to the left. Reach back through the right heel and slide the heart forward. Stay right here or take a big breath in. As you exhale, lower one-legged chaturanga. Inhale back up to one-legged plank. And exhale all the way back to 3-legged dog. Lower both feet to the ground. Let gravity hold and steady you as you take a big breath in. And a deeper breath out. Other side, lift the left leg up and back. Step your left foot through or around to catch your lunge. Spin your back heel to the floor and wait for your inhale to rise. Virabhadrasana 2 on the second side. That's it. Let the the knee sometimes wants to knock in. Guide your left knee open towards those pinky toes. And now as you look away from the ground and reach out through the fingertips, remember your breath. Take a deep breath in and down. As you exhale, bend into your front thigh and grow 1 inch taller up through the crown of your head. With the legs steady, reach your arms to the ceiling. Bend your left elbow And let your right fingertips grab on for this version of Gomukhasana, or cow face pose. Now, as you lift your left elbow to the ceiling, gently press your head back. Let there be space in the front of the throat for breath to come through. But when the head goes back, sometimes the ribs go forward. Slide the ribs back as you press the head back. A big breath in. Stay for the exhale. Bend into your left thigh. Guide the knee open as you lift your left elbow to the ceiling. And now inhale to release your arms to a T. Press that left leg straight. Take a big breath in. Reach out through the fingertips. And as you exhale for Trikonasana, let your left hand come onto a block or the floor, in or outside that front leg. Now here, some of those knees, mine especially, love to lock out. So if those knees lock, take a tiny bend that you might not see, but you can feel. And now without moving your feet, can you hug your legs to the middle? Feel the inner thighs engage. And as you keep that, press straight down into that block. Reach up through the right fingertips and think ribs back, shoulders back, and the ears back. So your head sits above your heart and your heart sits above your hips, breathing in through the nose, all the way out through the nose or mouth. Good. Look to the earth. Let your hands tap the ground and step it back to downward facing dog. With those hands as wide as your mat, lift just the left leg up and back. And now think less about how high the left leg can be, but can it be engaged and steady? Try to turn your left hip and toes to face the floor. Hug your left thigh an inch to the middle and lift your left inner thigh 2 more inches to the sky without turning the hip open. Now stay right here, breathing. Flex that foot. Or as you inhale, come to one-legged plank pose. Straighten your left leg. Hug the left thigh an inch to the right. Reach back through the left heel. Slide the heart forward. Stay here. Big breath in. Exhale to one-legged chaturanga. Inhale to one-legged plank. And exhale back to three-legged dog. Lower both feet to the ground. Monday. Take a breath and notice any difference from side to side. Now from your down dog, lower both knees to the ground. Come into your tabletop. You can sit back onto your heels, sip some water, take a breath or two, and shake it out. Getting warmer-ish? Okay. Sometimes, I think yesterday I went to bed because I was outside a lot, being like, I don't think I ever remember what summer feels like. And now I'm like, oh, right, sweat, it's available. So it feels a little sweet. Let's spend a few moments on the knees. So if you'd like a blanket to pad your knees up, please feel free to find it now. And make your way to tabletop. I like to have blocks underneath my hands so the floor can really rise to meet me where I am. But come onto all fours, hands on blocks or on the ground. And now from your tabletop, step your right foot to the outside of your right hand for this lizard lunge variation. Since we set up from table, sometimes that left hip comes right above the knee. If it is, scoot your left knee back just another inch so your left thigh is more diagonal to the floor. Good. And now one block and one hand at a time, start to walk your hands over to the left corner of your mat. Peek over your left shoulder. And as you look at your left heel, bend your left knee and bring your left heel to your left butt cheek. Keep your right hand connected and let your left hand reach around for the top of your left foot, the leg of your pants, or you might lasso a strap around that foot for the thigh stretch. Before we add anything in the upper body, can you back your left butt cheek up towards your heel? They don't have to touch, but think of the top of your left thigh moving back. And now press into the block to lift your chest. Stay right here. You might steadily walk your right hand back to the inside of your right thigh. You might play with some balance and slowly, there's no rush, climb your right palm up onto your right leg. Or you might reach your right arm up overhead for this version of Anjaneyasana or leaping monkey. But anywhere you are, take a full breath in and down. Stay for the exhale. Can you lift your heart, lift your gaze away from the floor, and maybe bend 1 more inch into your front thigh. Let it get heavy. Good. Now with care, release that right hand. Then let go of your back foot. Step it back to tabletop. Take a few breaths here, maybe a round of breath or two in cat and cow. But take notice of what it is that you feel and see. And let's do the second side. From your table, take your time to bring your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Walk your right knee back as needed so that thigh is more diagonal to the floor. And now this is a little trick of when you walk your hands over to the right, you're trying to shorten the distance between your hand and your foot so you might have more access to it. As you look over your right shoulder, bend your right knee and lift the right toes up. Keep your left hand connected as your right hand wraps around for the top of the foot. Now there's versions of this thigh stretch. There's the ones where your hips kind of bellow and soften towards the earth. To get into the thigh, you're trying to back your butt up towards the heel. And now press into the earth to lift your chest. There's a whole world to visit right here. Same. Or you might walk your left hand to the inside of the leg, taking all the time that you need to breathe here, climb it up onto the thigh, or reach your arm up overhead to the sky. But take a full breath in, down, and wide. Stay for the exhale. Think ribs back. Slide the ears back to lift your gaze. And maybe that front thigh gets heavier to the earth. Now slowly let go of your left hand. Then let your right foot release. Bring yourself back to tabletop. Plant your hands onto your sticky mat and step it back to downward facing dog for a breath. Good. From your down dog, walk your feet to come as wide as your mat. A tiny bend in your knees. And one hand at a time, start to walk yourself back to the back of your mat. So you fold at the backish of your mat itself. Now let the knees soften, let your head be heavy. You might tap the floor with your fingertips in front of your feet. You might grab opposite elbows, but a big breath in and a deeper breath out. Now hands climb up onto your hips. Stand through your legs and a big inhale to come all the way up to rise as you release your hands by your sides. Nice. If you have a strap, we'll take a shoulder stretch here. You can unravel it from its rubber band. If you don't have a strap, you can interlace your fingers, but I find the strap gives my chest a lot of extra space that I'm always craving. So here, as you either hold the strap between your hands at your low back or interlace your fingers, start with a big bend in your elbows. Now tiny bend in your knees so that they don't lock, and hug your shoulder blades together. Stay standing as you breathe in. Start to reach your arms off of your butt without letting the elbows lock out. There comes a point where sometimes they begin to straighten. Keep a tiny bend in your elbows. And now think ribs back. Kiss the shoulder blades together and slide the ears back so your head sits above your heart. A big breath in. As you exhale, tiny bend in your knees and slowly start to hinge at your hips as your arms reach overhead towards the sky. Now keep that tiny bend in your elbows. You might not see it, but you can feel it. And as you try to tug your strap gently apart, hug the shoulder blades together, feel the chest broaden and widen. And as you keep that, maybe your arms reach overhead towards the front of your mat, taking a full breath in and a deeper breath out through every direction of you. Good. Now release your hands back to your tush, ditch your strap. We'll use it again later. And as you walk your palms back, one at a time, step it back to downward facing dog. All right, a few more moments on the knees. So as you breathe in, lift the right leg up and back. Step your right foot to the outside of your right hand for this lizard lunge. Lower your back knee down onto the floor or a blanket, and everyone see what it feels like to come high up onto your blocks underneath your hands. Now to make your way into this version of Hanumanasana, this is the first of the leaps out of 4. You're going to walk your back knee back and bring your blocks and hands all the way back with you. Try it one more time. Walk your back knee back, maybe bring your blanket back and walk your hands back. And now to straighten your right leg, picture not just moving your knee to the floor, but imagine like someone's pulling your tail and you send your hips back to straighten your right leg. Walk your hands back to stay more upright. Do your best to flex through that right foot, especially the right pinky toes. And as you press into your blocks, lift your heart away from the earth. Good. Take a few breaths in through the nose, down into your belly. And as you exhale, up and out, try to unclench your fingers around the blocks. Now to create a little more space back here, watch for your neighbors over to the left. One hand and one block at a time, start to walk your hands over to the left onto the floorboards. Now swing your left foot over to the right like a kickstand and turn your right toes all the way to the ground like warrior two. You're getting the unfortunate angle, but hopefully you can see what's happening. Everyone's looking good. So with your right foot on the ground, press into your blocks to lift your chest. And now without moving your feet, hug your legs together. Try to pull the right foot back and the left thigh more forward. Now stick your butt all the way out. Stick your tush out and feel the curve in and through your low back. Trying to create a little more space in those other two hamstrings. Keep all of that. As we revisit, walk your hands back to the front of your mat. Swing your left foot to the back of your mat and turn your right toes to the sky. So same pose revisited. Breathe right here, noticing what it is that you feel. You might walk your left knee back and bring your hands back with you. You might walk your knee back and bring your hands back. But as you press into your blocks, lift your chest, lift your gaze, a big leap, not holding the mountain yet, but almost. A full breath in and down. Stay for your exhale, press into the blocks, lift your heart, lift your gaze, and see where you're going. Okay, to come out, press into your blocks. You might scooch your back knee forward, scooch it forward, so you can step your right foot back to meet your left for tabletop. Whee! That was 1 out of 3. Questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, conundrums? Should we do the other side? Did that? Mariel taught this to me years ago, and it made a lot of sense, where you're not thought to. You are confirmed to have 3 hamstrings in the backs of your legs, and often you feel one more than the other 2, just depending on how the body is. So when you come here for this first round, I always feel one that's like, hello, I'm available, I'm doing something. And then when you do this action of sticking your butt out, hugging your legs towards each other, you're trying to widen the space where the hamstrings attach to feel the other ones, so that when you revisit, it might feel exactly the same. It might be a thought of like, oh, something has shifted within there. There's some memory of a little bit more room. So that's the method behind the madness of why we did that. So let's try the second side, please. Come to downward facing dog. We'll enter the same way we did on side 1. Take a breath or 2 to feel yourself steady on the earth. And now for the second side, lift your left leg up and back. Step your left foot around to come to the outside of your left hand. Lower your right knee to your blanket or the ground and bring your hands high up onto blocks. Let them touch something. Now here, you walk your right knee back, that's the back one, and bring your hands all the way back with you. So think not bowing forward, but lifting your heart. You're about to hold a mountain in that hand. Walk your back knee back and bring your hands all the way back with you. And now feel your tail getting tugged. Pull your hips back to straighten your left leg for Ardha Hanumanasana, or half split. Flex your left foot. Peel the left pinky toes back, because sometimes the big toe wants to come first. And now press into your blocks to lift your heart away from the ground, breathing. Take a full breath in and down. Stay for the exhale, flex that left foot, lift your heart, and hug the shoulder blades together. Now here, one block and one hand at a time, start to walk your hands over to the right. Spin your left foot to the ground and swing your right heel towards the long edge of your mat like a kickstand. Now as you stick your butt out, like your tailbone moves back to feel the curve in and through your low back, you gotta hug your feet and legs together to engage through the muscles. So pull the left foot back and the right thigh forward as you lift your heart, grow long. Good, now keep all of that as you start to walk your hands back forward, either on the inside or framing out that left thigh. Walk your hands back to lift your chest. Breathe here. It wasn't a quick leap. He had to travel an entire country and universe. There's a few rounds of breath in there. So as you flex that foot, there's so much to visit here, so much territory to explore. Or maybe like you did on the first side, that back knee walks back and you got to bring those hands back with you. The knee goes back and the hands come back. But as you wrap your right hip forward, tap your left hip back, press into the blocks to lift your heart. See the direction you're moving towards. A big breath in and a longer breath out through every direction of you. Now, as you press into your blocks, we back out. Walk your right knee forward, walk it forward, walk it forward, so you can slide your left foot back to tabletop. Stay right here for a few breaths. You might take a few breaths in child's pose, in downward facing dog, or a linking vinyasa of your choice. But anywhere you decide to go, can you take 3 slow, steady breaths at your pace, in through the nose and all the way out through your nose or mouth. Wee. Okay. Let your next few breaths bring you to tabletop. Come onto all fours. And now, does everyone have at least one therapy ball that you can work with? If you don't have the set, a neighbor next to you might have an extra one. You'll just need one. You can take them out of their tote and grab one of your therapy balls, or have a friend grab one for you. And also, if you need any, please feel free to raise a hand and I can bring some over to you. Anyone need a therapy ball? Yeah, you got one? Okay, come to lay on your belly. Let's roll out the thighs. Come to lay all the way onto your belly. Find that one therapy ball and bring it right above your right knee, somewhere at the bottom of your right thigh. Good. Once you find the therapy ball somewhere at the base of your thigh, make a pillow with your hands. Rest on your forehead or on one side of your cheek. And as you let your belly and your left leg be long, take a big breath in and open your mouth to let that breath out. Now slowly start to bend and straighten your right leg. Notice what it feels like when it's bent versus straight. And now the next time you bend your right knee, keep it bent and move your right knee to the right and foot to the left so you feel the therapy ball come to the inner thigh. And then knee through the center, slightly to the left, and foot to the right so you come to your outer thigh. And go on your own back and forth a few times, really remembering your breath. If it's the first time you've done therapy ball work, or it's been a while, or even if you did it yesterday, the first thing to leave when there's an object there is your breath. So just as Hanuman forgot his ability to leap in the time of greatest need, he was able to remember and call himself back. It's not that we leap in full splits every single day. I mean, maybe metaphorically, yes. But the greatest superpower we possess is the fluency of your own breath in every given moment. Let it find its way through you. Now, after a few breaths at the bottom of that thigh, use your hand and let's come a little higher. Pull that therapy ball up to the middle of your leg, somewhere slightly different than just where you were. See if you can rest on the other side of your palm or on the other cheek. Unclench your fingers, your jaw, your tongue, and do the same thing. Slowly bend and straighten. And let that bent right knee move from right to left, inner to outer thigh, breathing. In through your nose, and out through your nose or parted lips. After a few breaths in the bottom, in the middle of your thigh, pop that therapy ball out. One more time. Just take a breath as you stretch your legs back behind you. Close your eyes. We'll do the second side in a moment, but before you do, can you notice the difference from side to side? It might be very subtle. It might be more drastic. But I said this last week, and I'll say it till the last class I ever teach. This practice, it's not about transforming or shifting or altering who you are. It's a practice of remembering of who you've always been. The layers peel back to reveal to you that inner world guided by your breath. So as you let your next breath move in and down to the memory of the therapy ball, even open your mouth to let that breath out to soften into the lap of the earth. Let's find the other side. So take the therapy ball again and come right above your left knee at the bottom of your left thigh. Get as comfortable as humanly possible in your upper body. And as you take your time, there's no surprises on side 2. Start to bend and straighten your left leg. And just watching for any neighbors or props. With that bent left knee, move your knee from left to right, inner to outer thigh. Like I said in the beginning, I often teach poses monthly. Like we get to everything, but there's a specific focus. And usually I teach full splits in July when it's like an armpit of heat outside, because you can use the humidity to your advantage a little bit. But here, doing full splits in January is no easy task, and yet that doesn't mean we ignore or deny it. For one of the qualities of Hanuman is that he was always in very well-known territory from his origin, but in all of his stories, he never knew where he was going to end up. He never knew when he jumped up into the sky, he would land and bite on the sun. He never knew when he jumped to the foothills of the Himalayas, would he even land on this universe, but that didn't prevent him from taking the leap. So after a few breaths at the base of your thigh, just like you did on side 1, take your time to come up a little higher, more to the middle of your leg. Rest on the other side of your palm or on the other cheek or the other corner of your forehead as you breathe. Big inhale in. And every exhale, can you let it out through your nose or parted lips in each direction of you? After a few breaths in the bottom and the middle of that thigh, take your time to pop the therapy ball out, stretch your legs back behind you, and a breath to notice what a difference feels like from side to side. Take a long breath in and down, and open your mouth to let every drop of that breath out. Okay, arguably the hardest part of class, but this is in preparation to come to lie down. Press yourself up through to tabletop, hands to your chest, and take yourself back to child's pose. Bring your feet towards each other. Let your knees come wider than your belly, maybe as wide as your mat. And as your hips stretch back to your heels, you might bring your head to the floor or to a block or to your stacked palms so that the weight of your head can soften and connect to something. A full breath in through the nose and a deeper breath out through your nose or mouth. On your next inhale, press up through to table once again. And in a moment, you'll come to lie on your back where we'll visit a supine Hanumanasana. So it's like you're flying through the sky, but on your back. So before you get comfortable, you'll have your head up towards me, your feet to the back of the room. Do have your strap close by, and if you don't have a strap, there's other variations, but set it off to the side. And come to lay down onto your back. Once you're on your back, bend your knees, bring both feet onto the ground. Bring your feet as wide as your mat. Stay here or let the weight of your legs knock into each other so that the low back and the hips can soften. Let your hands rest on your belly or onto your chest and take a full breath into your palms as you open your mouth to let that breath out. Now give your right leg a hug in towards your belly or chest. Start with some small circles in that right ankle in one or the other direction. Spread your toes, point the toes, feel the corners of your feet. And now if you have your strap, find your strap and loop it around the arch or the ball of that right foot. If you don't have a strap, interlace your fingers behind your right thigh, bringing the webbing of your hands together. Give yourself enough slack on the strap that both of your elbows can touch down onto the ground on either side of your body. But as you hold each edge of the strap in your hands, shrug your shoulders to your ears and wiggle the shoulder blades together. Now maybe you keep the knee bent or you start to straighten your right heel up towards the ceiling, into the strap or into the hammock of your hands. Take a full breath in through the nose and a longer breath out. Try to release the gripping and the white knuckling of your hands around the strap. It'll stay, let the fingers soften. Now as you watch for neighbors or props around you, start to straighten your left leg towards the back of the room, pressing your left heel, your left calf, and the back of your left thigh into the ground. Now stay here in this version of splits on your back. Or you might slowly start to lift your head, neck, and shoulders up off of the earth. Use your hands to slowly climb up the strap towards the shin, the ankle, or either edge of the foot. Now, as you shrug your shoulders to the ears, hug the shoulder blades together. Lift your heart up, one more breath in. And now keeping that connection between your thigh and your belly, you might start to lean back and float your left foot up off of the earth as you flex your foot and straighten the leg like you did in that one-legged plank pose. A big breath in. Stay for that exhale. Try to release the gripping of your fingers around the strap as you lean back. And then inhale to come all the way back down. Bend your right knee. Lower both feet to the ground with your knees bent, feet on the earth. A big breath in and a deeper breath out. Bless you. Other side. Start by giving the left leg a hug in. Make some circles to start in the ankle and in the foot. Spread your left toes, point the toes. See what they feel like to be out of winter boots and socks even for a second. And now as your left ankle comes back through center, either interlace your hands behind that thigh, try to take that awkward thumb or pinky on top, or find your strap to loop around the arch of your left foot. Start by giving yourself enough slack that both of your elbows can touch down onto the ground. And as you flex your foot, straighten your left leg to the ceiling. Take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale and wiggle those shoulder blades together on your upper back. You might keep that right knee bent, or perhaps you straighten your right leg long in front. Really flex the foot, press your heel, your calf, and the back of your right thigh into the earth. Stay right here and breathe. Or you might begin to lift your head, neck, and shoulders up. Walk your hands up the strap or up the calf, ankle, or foot. And flex that foot towards you. As you keep a tiny bend in that left knee, keep that connection between your left thigh and your belly, and maybe you begin to recline back as you flex your right foot and hover your right foot up off the earth, breathing in through the nose. Stay for the exhale. Release the gripping of your fingers around the strap as you lean back. And then on an inhale, slowly lower all the way to the earth. Release the strap. Hug both knees in towards your belly and chest. And stay here for a breath in stillness, in through the nose and all the way out through the nose or mouth. You might make some small circles in one or the other direction. You might lean from one side to the other. You might find your way towards happy baby as you widen your thighs and knees. Your hands might catch the backs of your legs, your calves, or the pinky edges of your feet. But take a deeper breath in through the nose and a longer breath out through your nose or mouth. And now slowly release the hold of your legs down to the earth. Reach your arms overhead towards the front of the room. And now gently roll over onto your right side to press yourself up to a seat for a moment. We'll set up for Shavasana, and I want to offer a supported heart bench to create a little bit more room in the chest. So if you'd like, you can set up in any way that you choose. You'll have your head facing the front of the room, feet facing to the back, and you might find one block at its lowest and flattest height, the other block tilted a few inches higher. Perhaps you bring your blanket to drape over so that there's nothing pointy poking into your back. And as you come to lay down, you want not the middle part of your spine, but more the upper back, the shoulder blades, to kiss that block. And then you can use your hands to find the higher block to support the weight of your head. And as you lay down, your arms will come down by your sides, your legs might come out long. But see as you set up if you can move 50% slower than you are already. Taking all the time that you need to find as comfortable a way to be as possible. And if this version of heart bench doesn't feel anything but supportive, please feel free to find a way to be that allows for you to settle into the earth. You might let your hair down, you might set your glasses safely off to the side. But take your time to drape yourself onto the earth. And as you find your way into your version of Shavasana, your pose of rest, can you feel that slow fluency of your own breath? Let each breath gently dissolve the day and the class that was. Let each breath help you arrive to where you are now. And let each breath create a little more room for what has yet to come. The leaps completed, the universes explored. And it's here where you give yourself a moment to lay in the fluency of your breath. So can you let each round of your breath help you soften into the earth? And the heavier your body continues to become, the more spacious you might just start to feel. Begin to deepen your breath. Take a longer breath in and a steadier breath out. Take another breath in and down so it fills you up. And exhale to offer all of that breath out. Let your breath begin to slowly awaken the body that you're in with any gentle movement that feels supportive to you. You might roll your wrists or your ankles in one or the other direction. Perhaps you gently tip your head from one side to the other, heavy against that block. Or just being mindful of any props or those around you, you might reach your arms overhead as your feet reach to the back of the room. But when the time comes, everyone begin to bend your knees, bring both feet onto the floor, let your hands catch behind your thighs, and with the least amount of effort required, slowly roll yourself up to a seat. Take your time to find a seat facing the front of the room, and with your eyes softly closed or open, can you once again remember your own breath? Take a deep breath in and down so it fills you up. And exhale to offer the breath up and out through every direction of you. Our time together will finish with one more of those breaths. Your hands can come to center anywhere that feels for you as you take a deep breath in to offer all of it out. You might bow your head to your heart or lift your hands towards your head in such a simple but profound gesture of self-reverence, bowing to yourself and to one another who all leaped alongside of each other. And with all of my heart, I bow to each and every one of you all. Thank you for choosing to be here today and together. Thank you, everyone. Drink water, stay warm, take really good care of yourselves and one another. If there's any props or mats that you used, or even your mat, it's the season of sniffles. There's a fresh bucket of wipes here just to give things a little swipe with. And otherwise, if you have time or interest just outside of the public class schedule, which there's classes every day, is this Saturday the 24th? Where did the month go? What's happening? Adriana and Mariel have collaborated with DJ Silo a whole bunch, who's a phenomenal DJ who does a lot of outdoor events in the winter. Adriana's co-teaching this workshop with DJ Silo called Bodies in Space. So she'll lead through kind of a guided meditation, and then the disco ball will be in full swing that it got installed a couple of months ago. The lights will be doing the lights thing. So if you're interested, that's this Saturday from 7 to 11, late night.
And a haze machine.
And a haze machine. Damn. Okay. I will most likely be lying down, but if you are available, that's happening. And then the following day, to really round it out, Eric is leading restorative yoga and yoga nidra. So you can do disco and then lying down disco over the weekend. But that's it for me. Anyone else have any announcements? Any things in your worlds that you are seeing, that you are going to, that other people might like to know about? Events or openings or activities? Yes, we hermit for winter. Come to yoga and then hermit. But take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon. Thank you for coming. Thank you.